If we really sit down and think about what might be coming for Willow, it does not feel small. It feels heavy, like something slow moving but impossible to stop. Because when Michael finally decides to act, truly act, not just react, that is when things collapse. I keep thinking about what we have watched on General Hospital. For years, Michael has never launched a direct strike at Willow. Not once, in a way that screams revenge. He could have, honestly. He had reasons, plenty of them, but he did not. And I do not think that was weakness. I think it was calculation mixed with something softer, something still attached to her. He cared. Maybe he still does. That is the uncomfortable part. Michael never wanted the children to see their mother as a monster. He never wanted to rip the illusion away from them. That restraint says something, because it is easier to destroy someone publicly than to stay quiet. Staying quiet takes effort. It takes swallowing anger. And Michael swallowed a lot. But Willow did not swallow hers. If my memory is not playing tricks on me, she betrayed Michael first. The affair with Drew was not a rumor. It happened, and that alone should have been the end. But it was not. Michael did not explode. He did not drag her name through the mud. He stayed composed. Too composed. That kind of calm is not natural. It is chosen. Then things escalated. Willow went after Drew too. That part still confuses me. The way she shifts alliances so easily. One minute Drew is the secret lover. The next he is a target. And now she seems determined to secure full custody of the kids by pushing Michael toward prison. Prison. That is not a small move. That is not emotional chaos. That is strategy. And here is where it gets darker. Willow knows she is nothing without money and power. That sounds harsh, maybe cruel of me to say, but look at the pattern. When Drew ended up immobilized, trapped in what was described as some kind of self-confinement disorder, Willow was almost positioned to gain control of his assets. That did not feel accidental. It felt opportunistic. Maybe I am being unfair, maybe. But it is difficult not to connect the dots. After that, the Senate seat, she wants it, needs it, because power protects, power manipulates, power builds walls around you so no one can touch you. And if she gets that seat, she can influence legal outcomes, she can pressure the system, she can push Michael into a corner legally, and once Michael is in prison, the path to full custody becomes clearer. That seems like the ultimate goal, not just to win, to erase him from the equation. To get there, she is aligning with Sidwell. I never thought I would see Willow stand beside someone like that. It changes how I see her. It really does. Villains are not born overnight. They are built choice by choice. And this alliance feels like a line crossed. But here's where I hesitate. What if this is not only ambition? What if this is twisted love? Because Michael did something too. Let us not pretend he is innocent in all of this. He did not attack Willow openly, but he did sleep with Sasha. And from that came Daisy, a child, a living reminder that he moved on in the most irreversible way possible. Sasha, Daisy, that was not random. Willow was still in love with Michael. I believe that. And watching him build a new family, watching him create a daughter with another woman, that must have hurt in ways we cannot fully measure. It is one thing to lose a husband. It is another to see him create new life without you. And while everyone says Michael did not seek revenge, I am not entirely convinced. Sometimes revenge is quiet. Sometimes revenge looks like success. He secured custody of the kids. He built stability. He positioned himself as the responsible parent. Willow was left with almost nothing. That is not an accident. Michael plays the long game. He does not scream. He does not threaten. He builds cases. Meanwhile, Willow spiraled, still loving him, still wanting his attention, and in that desperate state, she crossed the line that cannot be uncrossed. She stalked. She watched. She kidnapped Daisy. That moment changed everything. That was no longer about custody. That was obsession. Because kidnapping a child is not strategy. It is emotion out of control. And the result was fear. Sasha took Daisy and left town. That tells you how serious it was. When a mother flees because she does not feel safe, that is beyond rivalry. That is danger. So now Willow wants full custody again. Maybe part of her still believes that if she wins completely, if she eliminates Michael legally and emotionally, he will have no choice but to see her, to fight for her, to return. It sounds irrational, but love mixed with pride becomes something ugly. This time, though, I do not think Michael will stay silent. He has been patient, too patient, and patience has limits. I can imagine him quietly collecting evidence, Every illegal partnership, every questionable move with Sidwell, every financial irregularity tied to Drew's condition, every message, every call. He is not the type to forget details. He waits. That is what makes him dangerous. When Michael finally moves, it will not be impulsive, it will be precise. He will accept that the children cry once, just once, when their mother is taken away. Because in his mind, that single moment of pain prevents years of chaos. That is how he will justify it. And honestly, part of me thinks he might be right, because Willow has crossed too many lines. Love does not excuse manipulation. Pain does not excuse crimes. At some point, accountability has to happen. Still, I cannot fully hate her. There is something tragic about watching someone destroy themselves while trying to hold on to love. Willow is not pure evil. She is wounded. She is proud. She is desperate. And desperation makes people reckless. But reckless people should not control power. Especially not political power. If she gets that Senate seat, if she gains that authority, she will not stop. She will tighten her grip on the system, on the narrative, on the children. Michael understands that. So when he acts, it will not look like revenge. It will look like justice, calm, organized, backed by evidence. And by the time Willow realizes what is happening, it will already be too late. There is something almost terrifying about a quiet opponent. Willow fights loudly. Michael fights invisibly. And invisible wars are the ones that end suddenly. I do think the children will suffer. There is no version of this where they do not. Even if Michael believes a single moment of tears is better than a lifetime of instability, that moment will still scar them. Parents underestimate that. They always do. But if Willow continues down this path, prison might be inevitable. Not because Michael wants revenge, but because she keeps building a case against herself. Maybe that is the real tragedy. She could have stopped after the affair, after the failed custody attempt. Even after the Daisy incident, if she had confessed, stepped back, sought help. Instead, she chose escalation. And Michael, he chose silence. Silence can be mercy, or it can be preparation. I have a feeling we are about to find out which one it was.